Hello, my name is Joe Miklic. I'm a qualified business and marketing trainer and assessor, and today I will guide you through the topic manage meetings. In this topic, or this unit, we have 3 tasks. Today I will take you through task 1, and that'll be followed by tasks 2 and 3 in the following sessions. So if we scroll down to performance objective, you will demonstrate the skills and knowledge necessary to prepare for a meeting in accordance with organizational requirements. Assessment description. For this assessment, you are required to plan and prepare for a meeting to be conducted for a simulated workplace, which is the Adeptal Games company. Note, the work completed for this assessment task, Task 1, provides the basis or foundation for completing assessment tasks 2 and 3. So ensure you keep an electronic or hard copy of this completed assessment for future use. So the procedure. Read the Adeptal Games company simulated business information provided by your assessor. So the scenario, the Adeptal Games company is an Australian developer, publisher and distributor of dice, card and board games for all ages. Similar to Monopoly is one of them, one of the board games, card games, all sorts of card games and dice that you throw on the board. So this is the this is the Adeptal Games company. Now, the information back here, I'll read the Adeptal Games company simulated business information provided by your assessor. What they're referring to is the attachment, the document, the additional supporting information, which is this here. So if I take you all the way back to the top, it's the Adeptal Games company information booklet. And I'll just guide you through this briefly. Just the table of contents section, because it is 64 pages in length. We don't have enough time to go through all the pages, but we will take you through the table of contents. So the Adeptal Games company information, the Adeptal business plan is on page 1, which includes the mission, the vision, the values, the strategic directions, the Adeptal organizational chart, which is important. You'll need that for some of your exercises. Adeptal Games company policies and procedures, the Adeptal code of conduct, Adeptal anti-discrimination policies and procedures, procedures at the corresponding pages there, a reasonable adjustment, Adeptal office equipment use policy and procedures, corresponding pages there, list the policies and procedures, the photocopiers, printers, the buying and laminated, all there, corresponding pages, the shredder, telephone, fax, Adeptal stationery and consumables policy and procedures. Policies, procedures, purchasing, replacement of consumables, maintenance, servicing, Adeptal use policy and procedures, hardware, software programs, virus protection, Adeptal recording policy procedures, Adeptal electronic communication policy procedures. So the policies, procedures for that are on page 15. Allocation and access, authorized use, inappropriate use, communicating the information, you'll find on page 18. Adeptal meeting policy and procedures. Policies and procedures, page 19. Planning meetings. Conducting, chairing meetings, attending meetings and follow-up. These 3 sections provide the basis and foundation for your task 1, 2, and task 3. So it's planning meetings, conducting the meetings, task 2, and task 3, attending meetings with follow-up. I'll just get out of this grey zone for a minute. Click out of there. So these are important. So keep note of these pages. Page 19, 20, 20, 22. Adeptal privacy policy. What is personal information? Adeptal collect and use personal information on 22. There's some other stuff there in relation to privacy policy. You can go through that in your own time there. Scroll down. Depdel procurement and preferred suppliers policy procedures there. Some information there as well. Depdel Games Company Style Guide. Style Guide is what we will be using as well for our meetings. And in terms of meeting agendas in particular, minutes of meeting and emails that you'll be sending to participants or letters. So that information again is all important. So good practice is to follow the headings here and even highlight them in yellow, which I've done further on in the other document. You'll see when I bring it to light. So you highlight some stuff in yellow there as the important bits. So general style requirements, page 42. There's information about headings and logos and language requirements. Specific document requirements are listed there. So logos and page numbers and people that you are addressing the correspondence to, the recipients. Depdel business plan, the mission, vision. So here we start here and we go all the way through there. So you can look at this in your own time, and you'll be using some of this information for your meetings. So you look at that through your own time, just to scroll down through. So now I'll take you back to the assignment. I'll transfer that information over. Yeah, there. So there we are here. So meet with your facilitator or assistant to identify a topic for your meeting using the information and a Depdel organizational chart, which I just showed you, provided by your assessor. We stopped that only moments ago, and I paused there. The organizational chart. There it is there. So referring to that. So again, you might want to highlight that in yellow. These are all the important areas. Using the information and a Depdel organizational chart provided by your assessor, identify your meeting participants and the individuals in your learning group who will fill the roles of these meeting participants. Determine the meeting requirements by completing the meeting requirements form in Appendix 1. So again, this is important. I've highlighted this in yellow. So I'll go through this again. Determine the meeting requirements by completing the meeting requirements form in Appendix 1. Make sure you select a meeting style and format appropriate to your meeting's purpose and participants. This stuff for your meeting style and format you'll find in the supporting document that I showed you moments ago. That stuff is in here, and you will follow the table of contents always to locate that. It's lengthy page, 62 pages. You look for meeting styles and formats. See, style guide. Go through this section, meeting style and formats, to locate the document that you need. So you just go through the main headings here, look for styles, meeting styles, formats, keep scrolling along, keep scrolling down. See, there you are, meeting company style, meeting styles and formats. So you'll go to these corresponding pages. Back again to our assignments. Meeting styles and format appropriate to your meeting purpose participants. As part of completing this template, let's go back down there, show you that. Meeting requirements form. Appendix 1, meeting requirements form 1. 2 is meeting preparation action plan. We'll get to that soon. But we're here for now. As part of completing this template, the meeting requirements form in Appendix 1, I just showed you, ensure that you include identification and description of the following as they apply to your meeting. So here, highlight that meeting. So you need to ensure they include identification and description of these three information as they apply to your meeting. So the legal, ethical requirements, applicable conventions, and organizational requirements are in that supporting guide. So we'll just highlight this as well. So description of organizational requirements in the supporting document, applicable conventions in the supporting document, and legal and ethical requirements. So when you're looking for this, have a look. Let's go across. Supporting documents, legal and ethical requirements. We'll have a look so we can find it. Policies, procedures may include some legal and ethical requirements. Privacy policy there, the legal and ethical requirements again. Ethical requirements are always in your policies. So there's information all the way throughout there. Back to task 1. So your stuff there in the organizational requirements, top of the document, applicable conventions are in the document, and legal and ethical requirements. So use the meeting preparation action plan template. Let's go down. So using this template here, you sit there in Appendix 2, meeting preparation action template. To detail the tasks required to make the meeting arrangements you have identified in Appendix 1 and who is responsible for completing them. Note, you will need to complete these activities in Assessment Task 2 before you can conduct your meeting. So let me go through this again. You use the meeting preparation action plan template in Appendix 2, this is below within this document, to detail the tasks required to make the meeting arrangements you have identified in Appendix 1 and who is responsible for completing them. You will need to complete these activities in Assessment Task 2 before you can conduct a meeting. Prepare the required meeting documentation as per ADEPT-L organizational requirements using templates where required. The documentation will need to include a meeting invitation to notify required participants of your meeting, including a reason for chosen format. That information there, the invitation, is listed in your supporting document. That information here, meeting agenda, is listed in your supporting document. That information here, meeting minutes template, again, is listed in your document. Let's have a quick look, see if we can locate that. Scroll that through. Follow table of contents, but I've been through this before, and I'm pretty sure I've located this right at the end of the document, towards the end. That's one of them. That's 2. So meeting agenda template is 1. Meeting agenda template, and meeting minutes template is another one. So throughout this, you have series of templates, email templates, memorandum templates to use, letter templates to use, meeting minutes, information include, meeting agendas, so on. So emails, memorandums. So this supporting document gives you your layout, format, structure, contents required, among other things. So go back. So there's our meeting agenda and meeting minutes template. Prepare the required meeting papers, at least one, and select an appropriate method to distribute these to meeting participants. Well, I just showed you that. Distribution, appropriate method. Let's go back quickly. We just went through that here. Emails, letters, memorandums, the appropriate methods. But these are here because they're templates, they're formats, they're the structures you need to use. It's the layout that's important, meeting agenda, see? So that information is there as well. And number 8, send meeting documentation and papers as appropriate to required meeting participants. That's your peers in your class, the individuals in your learning group as per their assigned role. So you'll be distributing this to them via memo, email, letter, or some other format. Submit the required documents for assessment as per the specifications below. Be sure to keep a copy for your records. So here's the specifications. The assessment specifications. You must submit this assessment after session 2. Your trainer will provide you with the date for submission at the conclusion of session 2. You must submit a completed meeting requirements form in Appendix 1 within this document. We just saw that. A completed meeting preparation action plan in Appendix 2 within this document. We saw that. That's down the bottom here. One there. And the other one there. So in other words, keep the format, layout is correct. We fill in the documents. We fill in the gaps, the spaces. So that's 1, that's 2. I've just shown you a meeting invitation is in your supporting documents. A meeting agenda is there, and I've showed you that. That's towards the bottom of that meeting supporting documents. A meeting minutes templates there as well, and at least 1 meeting paper required for your meeting. And that's again in your supporting documents. Everything is listed there. All the templates are there, the layout, the format, the structure. You just got to fill in the gaps. So your assessor will be looking for evidence of reading skills, writing, numeracy, ability to recognize, so on stuff. Generic stuff you'll find in all your assessments. We'll skip this bit. Assessment outcome. You can read this in your own time. Yeah, okay. Now, I'll guide you through some of these templates and we'll have a good look and the supporting document for the next 20-odd minutes. So, in other words, meeting requirements form. A chairperson will be elected. You list their name there. The department, it could be perhaps the HR department or the finance department, marketing. You list that there. What's the meeting name? Probably women's clothing, Maya. It's up to you. Meeting details, you put the date there, a time, the location, it's some venue, the budget, what the meeting will cost, and the meeting format, what the purpose of the meeting. The agenda is listed here. The participants who are going to attend. There are internal participants. There are also external participants, such as us, big shareholders or partial stakeholders or partial ownerships and some other parties there. Speakers, name will be listed there. Seating arrangements, you'll list that information there. If there's going to be any video or teleconference requirements, probably for people who are interstate or even internationally, you can list their names there and the requirements. Supporting materials, pre-reading, meeting documentation, you list that there. Any equipment requirements, list that there. Any hospitality requirements, catering requirements, you list all that stuff in there. Accommodation requirements in your hotels, Hilton Hotel, Ibis, you list that stuff there. Other requirements, special needs, wheelchair access for some other guests. Other organizational requirements for conducting meetings. There may be proxy people who act on behalf of a CEO, and they may have special arrangements, so you need to cater for that there. Applicable conventions for conducting meetings as well. There's that information here. Legal and ethical requirements for conducting meetings. You list that information here. We can find that in your supporting document. Other specific requirements that can spring to mind. And so we hop on now to meeting preparation action plan. So the meeting name is listed here, the date, the chairperson or the host, actions that are required, each one action there, another action for that row, another one there, you list that there, by whom and by when, a date there, when the action is required. So you got some information there. Okay, so that's your task in both the templates in the Appendix 1 and 2. So now if we hop onto our other supporting documents, we need to have a look at that because that's going to help you with Task 1, Task 2, and Task 3 of this topic managed meeting. So we'll have another look at that one. We'll bring that up, share that across there. We'll go from top to bottom and have a good look at this because a lot of stuff in here is going to be very, very useful for your assignments, for all your tasks. So I've gone through the table of contents briefly, and we'll just scroll down and have a good look at this. I'll bring it up a little bit larger, the font. My cursor, always follow my cursor. I often tend to, wherever on whatever passage or location or document I'm at, I will use the cursor, and you can follow that cursor. Usually is where I'm at, it's what I'm reading. So scroll down, DBADM business plan, mission, vision, values, strategic direction is important there. The organizational chart, this was mentioned on a few occasions, is important as well. So you need to have a good look at that. DBADM policies and procedures, that was a requirement, we saw that. You can have a good look at that as well. DBADM code of conduct, information are all listed here. DBADM anti-discrimination policy and procedures, information listed here. So we need to use some of that stuff in our legal and ethical requirements in your template. You can extract or take some of this information and transfer there into your template, task 1. Template in the appendix. So let's scroll down further. So there's some legislations there that will be useful. Privacy Act, Anti-Discrimination, Age Discrimination, Australian Human Rights Commission, Disability, so on there. So you can refer to this information there for task 1 in your templates. Let's have a look here. Quickly have a quick look. In the templates. Here, see, legal and ethical requirements. So that's that. Go back. That's all. That's why it's good practice is always to highlight key areas. Scrolling down, procedures, reasonable adjustments. People with disability work safely and productively. There's some examples for reasonable adjustments. You can have a look there. Telephone access for employees with hearing and speech impairments. You may want to use that here. As you scroll down here. The second section, meeting preparation, action plan. Scroll down. The first document, my apologies. Other specific requirements. There's your legal and ethical stuff there. Privacy information I showed you there before. Other organizational requirements, you can list that stuff there. Special needs of attendees. Oh yes, okay. Special needs, that there. Perhaps that is a special need as well. That's a special need as well. You can transfer that over. To here, see? And let's have a look at the legal information we saw here. There, stop here, go back, document. We saw some legal stuff here. I think we just scroll up a little bit. And it was here. So you can transfer that information over there. And that should address that point there. So there we are. We paste it in there. Okay. Back to our supporting document. Procedures, reasonable adjustment. We have information regarding the equipment use, policy procedures. There they are there, photocopies, printers, so on and so forth. Scroll down to shredder information. That's in adherence to some of the Privacy Act, is to shred and destroy some internal and external stakeholders' private information. Names, addresses, passports, all that kind of stuff. Needs to be shredded. Torn to bits via machine and disposed of thoughtfully. Telephones, information there, fax machines. You use that at your own discretion wherever you need to in the meetings. It's up to you. Stationery information there, policies. Let's scroll down to maintenance services, depth of computer use, policy procedures, so on. Yeah, don't eat or drink near your computer, laptops. Spills can permanently damage equipment, so on. Some other stuff there. You read along and you'll decide what you want to use according to the requirements of your assessment tasks. Software programs, lots of them there. Have a look at that there. Don't forget they are a games company and they design and create, so they'll be using a lot of software programs. So a lot of them are listed there as well. Virus protection, information there. Record keeping policy procedures. I'll quickly take you through this. So I'd like to go through some other meetings templates very soon. Limited personal use stuff there. So good rule of practice, go through it, scan through the document, look for the main headings and see how they will relate to your task requirements. Communicating information, depth on meetings, policy procedures, there they are there, some important stuff. Planning meetings, conducting, chairing meetings there, need to follow this information here, your policy procedures, attending meetings for your company, Adeptel, attending meetings, following up on meetings, there's information there need to use, privacy policy, personal information, so on. We'll keep scrolling down. Protecting of personal information, Adeptel's website privacy policy, keep scrolling down, use of cookies, preferred suppliers policies, risk management stuff, non-discrimination information, procurement planning, buying Australian made, support Australian industry information, avoiding conflict and interest, competitive process, summary of procurement policies, allegations, suppliers. That may be a topic for your meetings. You need to choose a topic. Perhaps there may be a preferred or a better supplier, and that'll save you on your costs, your logistical costs, transportation, warehouse, storage is another one. So again here, you can have a look here as well, catering menu, example there. Base management information. All right, so style guides. Let's have a look at some style guides here. General procedure for writing documents, for letters, memos, emails, meeting agenda, minutes, you need that, as discussed. Distributing documents, you need that as well to notify participants. So some information there in relation to that. Document storage, special document procedures, letters, memos, emails, menus, how, format, other rules, meeting agendas, important. General style requirements as well, page layouts, fonts, headings, logos, positioning, color, language requirements, the different tones and so on, tables, letters, structure, header, address, so on, greeting lines, memos to, from, regarding dates. There's a memo structure for you there. The header, memo content. This, if you decide to notify your participants of the meeting, if you decide to use a memo, you need to follow this structure format here. If you decide to use an email, you feel it's a bit more convenient because some of the recipients or participants could be international or interstate. Emails are faster procedure, more convenient. If you decide to use email, this is your format structure you will use. Okay, meeting agenda, content and presentation there. Meeting minutes, structure, header, includes all the relevant information. Letter template. If you decide to send a letter, this is your format there. You need to follow this, fill in the dates, title, first name, surname, address, city serve, and here the subject line as well. So, and yours sincerely or yours faithfully. Memo template. Again, there it is there. To, from, date. Content of the memo listed there. Email as well. Format, dear, body of message. History of correspondence there. Meeting agenda template. Important. You'll be referring to this as well. Date, time, location, chair, minute taker. Meeting preparation. Meeting structure. All the relevant information is all here. And meeting minutes template as well there. So you can go through all that and use these two in particular. Use this and use this and use the two templates listed, Appendix 1 and 2 of Task 1 documents. So there. Okay, there it is there. Expedient and close meeting there. So have a good look at this document. Lengthy, but take your time. Follow table of contents. Highlight key points in yellow so it's easy to refer to as you scroll up and down. And that concludes Task 1. Next time around, I'll guide you through Task 2. So don't forget Task 1, this needs to be done because it sets the tone, lays the foundation for you to then complete Task 2, conducting the meetings. And then again, Task 3 after conducting the meetings.